Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And today's message is all about the fact that we are trapped by the things that we hate and freed by the things that we love. And I'm really excited to bring this message to you because I think it's been one of the greatest lessons that I've ever learned throughout my personal development journey. And I know there's just a few different ways of really talking into this. So ultimately, we are restricted by the things that we resist, and we are freed by the things that we surrender to. And a great Tony Robbins quote on that is, "What we resist persists." And we're trapped. The way that I want to talk about into this topic today is the fact that we are trapped by our lopsided perceptions and we are freed by our balanced perceptions. And that's ultimately why I've delivered this message with the title of the fact that we're trapped by the things that we hate and freed by the things that we love. And I want to talk into what I mean about love, because love, in my opinion, is a balance in perception. So it means that we can not only see the good, but we also see the bad. Not only see the negative, but we also see the positive. It's this balance. It is the duality of life. It is noticing that there is no one-sided thing in this world. There is no just negative thing and there is no just positive thing. And in actual fact, love is the experience of recognizing the balance thereby which is available in every single scenario, circumstance, and thing that we are determining an experience around. And that's really what I want to talk to you about, because it is when we are stuck in these lopsided perceptions of an event, a person, a scenario, a trait within ourselves, that ultimately we stay trapped. And a great thing that I wanted to bring to your attention here, and I hope this gets you sort of thinking and triggered and sort of just thinking about how this operates in your life, is the fact that people try to change by hating the parts of themselves that they want to change. And it never, ever works. So when we hate the parts of ourselves that we want to change, we create this real resistance, and we may take a step forth in making a change in that direction that we want to, but ultimately what we find is we sabotage our success because we've got so much emotional charge and trigger behind it that we disempower ourselves and we become slave to that trait that we're putting all that time and energy around hating and wanting to change and resist. And ultimately it may seem counterintuitive, but the only way to make a change within yourself is to ultimately love, find balanced perception around that particular thing that you are looking to change. And this is where we must surrender to the fact that every single one of us has all traits, is everything. We are the full spectrum of human traits, of emotional range. We are everything. We are all things. And until we can surrender to that fact, we will never be able to make the changes that we really want to from an empowered, loving state. We will always be taking one step forward and 10 steps back and resisting and feeling, totally overwhelmed and totally disempowered from making the changes in our lives that we really wish to, and ultimately stepping into the highest versions of ourselves. It is only when we identify those traits that we're currently not liking, that we may be having some emotional triggers around, that we can identify the parts of ourselves that we have totally disowned, and that if we want to actually shift how we're showing up in the world from an empowered place, from our higher selves, then we ultimately need to own those parts of ourselves that we have been disowning. And the only way we do that is from love, which is ultimately a balance in our perception. It is identifying all the negatives that we have attributed to that trait and then finding the equal positive that is always there. And it is only from that place of balance that we will be able to ultimately make a shift and a change. And I really, really hope that today's message is resonating with you guys out there. I hope that it's got you thinking. I hope that it's got you sort of really questioning how you're showing up in the world. And if you have been falling into these vicious cycles, these consistent patterns of up and down and that roller coaster and that cycle, that you feel like you just can't get off, that you feel like you take a step forward and then 10 steps back and you just feel defeated, then ultimately you need to identify where you have an imbalance in your perception around the change that you want to make. And that is where all the power lies, in that self-awareness, in that balancing of your perception, if you really ultimately want to make lasting change and step into a higher version of yourself, a more empowered version of yourself. So guys, I really hope this is resonating, and I want to definitely check in with you guys and see what's this triggered for you. Is there something in your life that you are totally just like stuck in this loop around, and today's message will hopefully trigger you to do the work around it and help to balance out your perception, knowing that you have full power to make any change that you wish to in your life, so long as you can find the balance in your perception to free yourself to be able to make the lasting changes that you truly seek. So I'm going to check in with you guys like always, and make sure that you are dropping any questions, comments, and feedback. I really love engaging with you guys, as you guys know. And so let me know. Moises, awesome to have you, and Tim, and Stephen, and Ian, and Simba, and Melita, and thank you so much, Moises, and Alexandria, always love having you, and same with you, Misty, afternoon to you, and James, not sure what you mean about YouTube, but let me know. And Trent, awesome to have you. And Julie, perceptions are powerful. Most definitely. It is in our perception that our whole world is experienced. So perception in my beliefs is everything. Perception, how we perceive anything is everything. So I really hope that you guys are getting value from this. And Julie, I love you sharing your comments here. Thank you so much. And Damien, awesome to have you. And Nate, and Manolo, and Savula, and Ari, and Carolina, and Leroy, and Spady, awesome to have you guys. And Matt, so would you say we stop ourselves from doing more of the things we love because we focus energy on the things that we hate? Focus on more of your favorite things to live happier. Yeah, so deeper than that even, Matt. So what I would say is that there is so much power in identifying the things that we hate, right? We have so much emotional charge towards that. And instead of shifting our focus away from the things that we hate and onto the things that we love, we're missing a lot of growth by doing that. So what I would say is converting the things that we hate into the things that we love, because my definition of love for you guys here is a balance in perception. And any time that we have a hate towards something, it is the fact that we are so hyper focused on the negative, on only one side of the equation, that we have this emotional charge toward and totally disempower ourselves around. So it is about bringing a balanced perception around that thing that we hate, so that it no longer has control over us. So I hope that makes sense to you guys out there. I hope that answered your question, Matt. It's not about resisting the things that we hate or running away from the things that we hate. It is about bringing love to everything in our life, so that it no longer controls us, and that we can come from an empowered state to make whatever shifts and changes that we wish to, in order to access a higher level of who we are and a greater level of our potential. So really hoping that made sense to you, and that resonated with you guys and answered your question there, Matt. Let me know if I need to clear anything up. That's what I'm here to do. And Leanne, thank you for joining me. And Mitchell, I'm so grateful that you're appreciating these messages, Mitchell. Warms my heart so much. And yes, I'm definitely enjoying the US. I'm still here. I'm here for another week. I'm just recovering at the moment from some sickness that I had yesterday. I'm feeling maybe like 70% back. So I really want to make the most of my last week in the US. And thank you for your well wishes there, Mitchell. And Alexandria, yes, awareness and integration of all of our aspects. Yes, this is my ongoing Libra life quest to find balance. I love that, Alexandra. Yes, and And I really do believe that love is balance. So, there is so much power in bringing balance to everything within ourselves and within our perceptions. Most definitely. So I love that you're on that journey, Alexandra. Thank you so much for sharing. And Lewis and Cheryl and Mitka, sorry if I can't say your name right, but I love having you here. And Jose, balance, harmony, love it. And Charlie Tuati, I just butchered your name, but I love having you here. And Otum, gosh, you guys are tripping me up today with your names. I love having you. And Harold, awesome to have you. And Leroy, I need a lot of pushing to get unstuck. It's me who needs to change. Yeah, so I'm a big believer in not having to find the things that push you, but ultimately to find the things that pull you. So push is very energy draining, but pull is energy inducing. So in order to, make the shifts that we want to, in order to get unstuck, we need to identify the things that really inspire us. And that is where we find the pull. That is where we find, that vision that pulls us through the tough times, that gives us that fuel and that juice to get unstuck. But if we're just always pushing and trying to be motivated to make the changes, then we get a lot of stop starts. So yeah, definitely I love you sharing your perspective there, Leroy, in terms of, or your experience there in terms of feeling like you need to do a lot of pushing right now in order to get unstuck. And I would urge you to find something that helps pull you through this to get unstuck, which is ultimately to find an inspiring vision, a compelling future that you're creating for yourself that gives you that fuel, that juice to pull you through and get you unstuck, rather than the pushing. The pushing is very short term and it's kind of manufactured and it doesn't create lasting change. So I hope that made sense. I hope that added value to you there, Leroy, and let me know if I need to explain anything deeper there. Holly, you're in Thailand. I love it. You're so welcome. And you're saying here that I need to surrender to the fact I'm a highly sensitive person while moving into my highest version of myself. Currently working on embracing the sensitivity and inner child. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, Holly. And I love that you're on that journey and definitely tapping into embracing your sensitivity and your inner child, because so many of us, we identify with these particular labels, and we can use, highly sensitive as a label that can ultimately keep us really boxed in and small and stuck, instead of what I love hearing that you're embracing your sensitivity. And to me, that means finding a balanced perception. So instead of focusing on all the limitations of being highly sensitive, actually finding the balance and embracing the beauty of being highly sensitive. That is what brings us back into balance, which ultimately is love, which ultimately empowers us to make those shifts towards our highest potential. So I love that. That's so awesome, Holly. Thank you so much for sharing. Hi, hey to you, Ryan, and Bayla, thank you for joining, and Sunil, and Gianna from Texas, awesome to have you, and Vince, nice to have you, and Matt, what if the thing you hate is something you can't love, such as a deeper personal issue? I would say to you, Matt, that everything in life has an opportunity for you to find love for. And remember my definition of love today for you guys is finding a balance in perception and knowing that hate is emotionally triggered and it totally traps and disempowers us. So anything that we hate, we can love. It is just that thing that we are hating, we are finding only the negative for, only what we are missing, what it is costing us, rather than finding the balance that there is always an equal positive to every negative. Remember that. It's quantum physics. It's how this world works. So anything you hate, you can love, and love is just a balance in perception, and ultimately love is the truth, and hate is this lie that you tell yourself, and you keep yourself stuck and small in a lopsided perception, a hyper focus on the negative, when you're missing all the positive, all the lessons, all the growth. So I hope that that makes sense to you, Matt. Let me know if it doesn't, but my answer to you is that you can always find love for something that you can hate, and it might take more work if it is a deeper personal issue that you're trying to find love for. But you keep yourself so stuck by thinking that you can't find love for it. You always can. It's the difference between whether you want to get unstuck and you want to free yourself to make empowered changes and decisions in your life, then you need to find love for it. If you don't, you want to stay stuck, you want to stay in that comfort zone, stay hating it and stay feeling like you can't get out of that. But ultimately you can, and it is all about balancing our perception. So I really hope that that resonated with you, Matt. I hope it answered your question, and I honor you on that journey. I know it's a tough one to find love for the things that we hate, but believe that you can, and know that life will be better once you do, and that should help to pull you through. Love that. Caroline, nice of you to join me, and Champ, and Michael, good morning to you, and Lucy, awesome to have you, and Alexandria, glad you're feeling better, was concerned for you. Oh, thanks, Alexandra. I'm actually finding my heart racing right now, so I'm finding like I'm so energy depleted, but I'm on the mend, and I love that you're sending me your well wishes there. Thank you, Alexandra. Appreciate you so much. And Jeannie, awesome to have you. Always great to have you joining me live. And David and Ryan and Jimmy, thanks for reminding me. You're so welcome. We all need a good reminder at times. And Kevin, a very timely subject. Nice you can address in conversation without creating division. By the way, were you able to meet up with Tony while you were in Vegas? No. Thanks for sharing your comments there, Kevin. I'm grateful that this is a timely subject for you. And no, I didn't catch up with Tony while I was in Vegas. Would have loved to, definitely. But yes, Vegas was just incredible. I'm paying for it now, I think. But Andrew, awesome to have you. And Bobby and Thomas and Samuel and Brittany, awesome to have you guys. And Julie, how do you learn to trust again after a divorce? That is a phenomenal question. Now, how do you learn to trust again after a divorce? Well, the short answer, and I think that I could probably do a Facebook Live for you guys in terms of trusting again once you've been through heartache and all that pain. But what I want to leave you with, I want to give you something of value here, Julie, is that ultimately trust with the external, trust in another person, trust in a relationship, all stems from our trust within ourselves, trust in our ability to handle it, because we cannot control the outside circumstances. We cannot control another person, an outside circumstance. All we can do is trust within ourselves in our ability to handle it, to grow from it, to learn the lesson, to figure it out, to not be, thrown in the gutter by it. And that is ultimately how we learn to trust in another person, in relationship, in the beauty of love. Again, it stems always from our trust within ourselves to be able to handle whatever circumstances we are thrown by life, whatever circumstances are thrown at us in life that we cannot control. So I hope that that gives you a little bit of value there, Julie. Everything, if we're not trusting in relationship, if we're not trusting in others, it is because we're not trusting within ourselves. So that is the work that needs to be done. And ultimately, it is our way out of fear is our trust in our ability to always figure things out and handle it. And a great book on this is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. Phenomenal book, and ultimately the thesis of that is to trust in your ability to figure things out, and that's how you can get through and overcome any fear and that lack of trust, or that inability to trust, and we have to relearn how to do it. It's ultimately stemming from fear, that is fear from not trusting in our own selves to handle the uncontrollable circumstances that are always going to show up in our lives. So Really hope that that was valuable to you, Julie. Let me know if you guys would like me to do a Facebook Live more on building that trust when our hearts are being broken. You let me know if that's going to be something that's of interest to you, and I'll definitely make that happen. And Maya and Jelma and Linda and Victoria and Michael, awesome to have you guys. And Joyce, trust yourself first. Again, definitely. And Camelia, awesome to have you. Julie, you're so welcome. Grateful that that was of value. And Kyle, nice of you to join me. And Krishnakant, how to feel and live every moment of life. Well, you got to be present. You got to be present and mindful of the moment. And we've all heard that before. It's nothing new. It's no new perception, but it's the truth, and it's the simplicity of it. And it's why I do meditation every day, and I have mindfulness practices, because it is only when we are present to the moment that we are fully living in the moment. And anytime we are outside of the present, it means that we are either reflecting back into the past, or we are projecting into the future, and we're missing the very thing that is real and true, and that is what is happening in this very moment. And so that's why I think that it's really important for us to have mindfulness practices and reminders, because it is a human experience that we're going to be oscillating between the past, the present, the future. And if we want to live more of our lives, we need to find ways to center ourselves into the present moment, through gratitude, through love, and through mindfulness practices such as meditation, breathing, and setting up those daily sort of reminders for ourselves. So I hope that was valuable to you, Krishnakant. Thank you so much for your question. And Chris, awesome to have you. And Julie, I've been very afraid to trust men again. Julie, what I would say to you is if you haven't already, access the work of Byron Katie, thework.com, and I would get you to identify those beliefs that you have around men, and I would get you to do the work on those beliefs around men, because at the moment you're holding on to some beliefs that are disempowering you and preventing you from obviously stepping into, it sounds like you want to be in a relationship again. You've had some trouble, you've had some hurt, and based on your past experiences, you've created some belief systems that are not allowing you to trust men, which, that's such a generalization, such a limitation for you in terms of what you're looking to create in your life and the freedom that you want to have in your life to love. And I really believe that the purpose in life is, all of our purposes in life is to love fully and allow ourselves to be loved fully. And you cannot do that when you have a belief that you can't trust men. It's a massive generalization, and I would be doing the work right now on turning that belief around so that you can be free to step into your purpose in life, to love and to be loved fully. So I hope that helped, Julie. And I really honor you on that journey. I can feel into the fact that you have had a lot of hurt and had a lot of pain, but don't let that jeopardize your purpose in life and the love that you have to give and experience. So I love that you're sharing your journey here, Julie. Thank you so much. And Tony, awesome to have you. And yes, Victoria, trust is letting go. Yes, surrendering and trusting in your ability to figure things out and handle whatever comes at you in your life. Mike, awesome to have you. And Hassani, love having you guys here. And Krishnakant, can you tell me what to do in meditation? Because there are so many ways to do it, which you do, which helps me better. Okay, Krishnakant, I am always going on about an amazing app called Calm, I think if you search it in the Apple Store. The Daily Calm, this is a daily meditation. It only goes for 10 minutes, and it's just a beautiful way to learn how to meditate. Another free app that I would highly recommend, and how I got started on meditation, with guided meditations, is Headspace. Phenomenal. They do a 10 minutes, 10 days free course. It'll help to train you in meditation, and you can take that journey wherever you so wish. Highly recommend those two applications. Go for whichever one you gravitate more towards. And thank you for your question. And Victoria, yes, the silent, graceful moments, they are so valuable to our souls, most definitely. And Tony and Piero, awesome for you guys to join me. that is it for me today, guys. I'm still recovering. I'm feeling kind of dizzy right now. I need to take a breather, but I have absolutely loved having each and every one of you engaging with me today on this Facebook Live. I am really grateful for each and every one of you, like I say each and every time, but it's so true. I have so much appreciation for you guys. And I am sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything brilliant coming to you from wherever you are in the world right now. And one last little thing here. I've seen Gianni, nice to have you. And Holly, Insight Timer is another amazing meditation app with thousands of guided meditations you can access. Thank you so much, Holly, for sharing that with all of us. I know people will find value in that. Chris, awesome to have you, and Eric, and lovely of you guys to join. I'm just about to sign off, so I hope you guys catch the recording, get a ton of value from this. And thank you so much, Holly. Much love to you. And guys, that was my message. Remember that love is a balancing perception, and it is your only way to freedom. So definitely, I hope this has shifted some perspectives for you, got you thinking about the work that you could be doing right now to grow yourself so that you can enter that space of freedom and ultimately access a higher level of your potential. I'm sending you all of my love, and I will see you guys tomorrow.